Well, hello, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Today you have the Rhino, and we're drinking a beer. Today's beer is right here in my hand. It's from Sawback Brewing Company. Just looking here, Sawback is from Red Deer, Alberta. This is the Blueberry Pomegranate Kettle Sour Ale at 4.9% alcohol by volume. So I'm really hoping that it's going to come out kind of like this color. Because pomegranate's hard. Pomegranate is like an almost purple juice. But get it from those little tiny red seeds. It's basically, you don't... For those of you that have never had a pomegranate, right? They look pretty big. They're this big red fruit. And you like open them up, you peel them, and it's a white flesh inside that you don't eat. What you're eating is the seeds, and there's lots of seeds in them. The best way to do it, cut it in half, throw it in some water, let it soak. The seeds start popping out, and as it's soaking, you can break it up easier, make more seeds pop out. And those seeds are basically almost like little berries with the seed inside it. And that's what you eat. So you buy a pomegranate, and it's so much work. I don't know who discovered you could eat pomegranate. There are some fruits I look at, and I'm like, who the fuck figured out you could eat this? Pineapple, another one. Like, who looked at a pineapple and said, that's going to taste really good on the inside? Who looked at a coconut? And for those of you that little brown seed, because coconut, that's basically the seed. That little brown hairy thing you get at the supermarket, that's not what the coconut looks like on the tree. Who the fuck looked at this giant green thing on the tree that it took you slashing at with a machete to get to this rock hard brown nut that you then smashed open to get some juice and some flesh out of? Who looked at that and said, that must be good to eat? Those are the type of things that I wonder about in this world. So Sawback out of Red Deer, Alberta. Oh, nice. You don't get to see it yet, but it's nice. There you go. It's not the color I thought it would be, but I like that anyway. That kind of would be what I would expect from a blueberry pomegranate beer. And the head, it's very subtle, but the head has a subtle like pink/purple hue that kind of goes close to that. Not quite, but kind of. There we go. We're all in. Okay. So, questions here. Is it see-through? Yes, it's see-through. You see my hand? I can sort of see. There you go. Yeah, you can see my hand in there. Okay, so it is see-through. It's a beautiful... It's a peachy red sort of thing. Let's smell from the glass first. I don't really get much other than the sour out of the glass. Out of the can. Can kind of reminds me of the same thing. It's just kind of sour, what you'd expect. Okay, let's try it. Cheers. And it's a kettle sour, so I mean, kettle sours are soured usually with lactobacillus. It usually has a telltale flavor, and it's going to be like the fruitiness and then just this almost puckering sourness, and hopefully it's good. Cheers. And here's the thing. I don't know if it no longer matters what style of beer you make or anything like that. When you make a kettle sour nowadays, They all kind of taste similar, other than maybe the fruitiness in it. Thank you, I'll be right up. Other than maybe the fruitiness in it. But it's almost as if they all have Citra hops, which is a hop that works really well with kettle souring. But yeah, this has a slightly citrus sourness at the back end with that with a graininess at the back end. There is a bit of blueberry, there is a bit of pomegranate, but it is fairly muted. I don't really care if it's fairly muted. It's there. It tastes natural. It's this. You're not even getting the tannic flavor from the skin of the blueberry. You're getting this slightly sour blueberry flavor up at the front, like you have the mushy, over-ripened blueberries. Then, just the tiniest touch of pomegranate. And I mean, pomegranate can be sweet, it can be sour, but it's slightly sweet pomegranate with that tannicness from the little tiny seeds in it. Then you're hit with, well, then I'm hit with the kettle sour. Just slight citrus, slight sour that fades into a biscuity, neutral finish. It's very refreshing. This, on a hot summer day, this would be amazing out on the patio. Here in my basement, it's still pretty good. The sourness, I think, is a bit too strong to drink a bunch of them at once. But I could see myself buy like a 12-pack of that and have one a day with whatever else I'm drinking. It's not a bad beer. It's really not. I think it's a solid, easy drinking beer. So Sawback's Kettle Sour Blueberry Pomegranate, I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. Again, it's not anything to write home about, but it's a solid, well-made beer. And that's all you can ask for. And yeah, I know some people will be like, 75 out of 100 is a solid, well-made beer to you. Yeah, that to me is a solid, well-made beer that I would buy again. I wouldn't go out of my way to find it. I wouldn't get really, really excited when I saw it on the shelf. But if I saw it on the shelf, I'd be like, hey, I know that beer. I like that beer. I'm going to buy one of those beers. If it's there, it's there. Thanks, guys. Bye.